there, and welcome to take 2 of Thursdays with Annette. I know it's not 2 o'clock, it's actually nearly 4:45, but we had a problem with our audio. If you watched, you'll know what it was. It was terrible, and I really wanted to do this recipe proud because it's so fantastic. So I'm redoing it again. So this is the recipe book we're using today. This is the recipe. Cookies and cream baked cheesecake out of book 6. It's a fantastic recipe, and if you haven't made it before, you're going to be in for a treat because it's so easy. Basically, you just need a food processor or a stick blender and you're good to go. So let's talk about last week's winners from the show with the savoury scone scrolls. We had the fabulous Beth Hooper from Queensland, Rosalind Brown from Victoria, and Lynn Pryor from South Australia. We're all happy winners, and you know what? I found out what state they were from because last week, you know, I'm such a sticky beak, I wanted to know what state you were from. Well, I can tell you the winner of the most popular viewed state was Queensland. That's right, Queensland came first, then New South Wales and Victoria very close, second and third, South Australia, then WA, Tassie and Northern Territory. But I'm impressed because I can now say this show goes global. That's right, because we had a lady watching, a fabulous lady from Florida, another one from Bali, New Zealand, Venice, I know, Venice, and Papua New Guinea. So if you'd like to win a cookbook, then stay with me because I'm going to be giving away at the end of the show. So let's do this recipe again. So we need some cookies, and these are the Paradise choc chip. Now they don't make the light one anymore, so we're now using this one, and it is just a little bit higher in fat. Instead of traditionally being 5.1 grams of fat for this cheesecake, it's now 6 because they don't make the light anymore. And you need 12 of those. You need a tablespoon of skim milk, and that's the base. For the filling, you need 500 grams of low-fat cottage cheese. You want 125 grams of the Philly Light, but it's the 40% less, that's the one you want here, 40% less fat. We want 2 eggs. We're going to use 1 egg white, 1 whole. We've got a can of condensed skim milk. I've got a quarter of a cup of dark chocolate grated. I mean, it's 25 grams, I'm sorry. 25 grams or 5 squares, up to you. I like to weigh it because I want to make sure I get my 25 grams. And a quarter cup of cocoa, and that's the cocoa I'm using there that I love, the Play-Doh. You need also half a teaspoon of vanilla essence, some cooking spray, and we're good to go. So what I'm going to do first is make the biscuit base. I've got my food processor, and I've got a really big one. It's a Breville. It's called like a Whiz Pro, and I have 2 bowls in it. So this way I can make the base and the bowl without having to wash up. So I need 12 bickies. 4, 8, 12. Now, if you don't go to Coles, you can actually get these the choc chip ones that they have there, but you want to make sure it's the 20% choc chip cookie, and you also want to make it 125 grams in weight, because I mean biscuits vary in size. So 20% choc chip and 125 grams or 12 of the Paradise. All right, so I'm going to crumble that up. Let's spray my base because I need a pie plate. And now just put in a tablespoon of skim milk. And really, this recipe is going to be all done in the blender. So it's not hard, is it? There we go. Let's get that out. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to take my blade out. Be very careful, it's very sharp. I'm not putting it in my soapy sink, I'll just leave it on the side. And then get your biscuit crumble out. There we go. So all the chocolate gets all broken up into little pieces, so it's a bit fabulous. I'll move that out of the way. And now what you're going to do is you just spread it out. And the thing is, it's only on the base. You only want this on the base. You don't want it going around the edge, which a lot of cheesecakes do. And I find that's just too much biscuit. And a lot of times people put a lot of butter, and it makes it very, very rich. So pat it down. And I'm going to get you, Billy, would you mind putting this in the fridge for me, and we'll get it back in a minute. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way, and I just want to get a tea towel, and I'm just going to wipe that out so it's good to go. And I've got my big sharp blade going in now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get a cottage cheese, and we're going to give that a quick zhuzh, a blend in the machine. If you don't have a food processor, what that little bit there, you could use a stick blender. And if you wanted to do the biscuits, you could always, just use a meat mallet or a rolling pin and bash it down and crumble it up. So we just do that first. And it makes it really smooth and lovely. It's not like, looks like cottage cheese anymore. And now we put in the cream cheese, 125 grams. Give it another zhuzh. Thanks for joining me today. I'm sorry we've had these problems. Our technology sometimes is a blessing, sometimes it's a curse. Okay, now we're going to put in the egg. So we want 1 egg white. It's such an easy cheesecake and very easy to eat. And I'm making it because I know Billy loves it and he wants it for Father's Day, so I'm already organised with cheesecake. I've got plenty of cheesecake now, that's for sure, for him for Sunday. We want half a teaspoon of vanilla essence. There we go. And we divide this into 2. It's interesting how you make this one because you want the vanilla and you want the chocolate. And that way you're getting that illusion of the cookies and cream look. Okay, let's put this in. See how easy this is? Nothing to it. In goes the condensed milk. That's the skim one. And if you love cheesecakes, you know I've got some fabulous ones for you. Like this one is, as you know, is in book 6, but I've got 2 great cheesecakes in book 3. I've got the baked cheesecake that has like a berry sauce. I've got the raspberry cheesecake, which is fabulous, and it's also in the Cooking for 1 or 2, which I've made on the show where I just made 2 of them. I've also got in book 5 the fruit salad cheesecake, as well as the mango passion fruit cheesecake. Beautiful. And in book 7 we've got the black forest cheesecake and also the little mini lemon cheesecake. So if you like cheesecake, no problem. All right, so I'm just going to scrape that down. It's looking great. Just scrape it down. I've preheated my oven to 160 degrees fan force, so that's 160 degrees fan force. You don't want it hot. Billy, can you grab me the base, please, honey? Because cheesecakes will crack if they're too hot. And it's just an easy, delicious cheesecake. I love this one. It's just a little bit different, than having a fruit one. So now, what I'm going to do is divide it into 2. All right. So just kind of guess, if you can, an even amount for both. Look at that. How gorgeous does this want to look? Yum. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to make the chocolate, and I'm going to use my little mix master here, and I'm going to put in the 1/4 cup of cocoa. I'm going to sift that in. Let me just give that a bit of a mix. So it goes through. You really want to sift your cocoa because otherwise lumpy bits is not a good idea. And then just give it a blend. And once that's starting to combine, throw in your chocolate. So that's how hard it is to make the chocolate part. You're going to bake it at 160 degrees, as I said, for about 45 minutes. And then you leave it to cool and then put it in the fridge and it's ready to enjoy. All right, so there we go. I feel like I've done this before. Wonder why is that? Oh, golly gosh. All right, so just make sure you get all that in. And here we go. So I put the vanilla in, the vanilla in first. Yep, oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. And then in the recipe I'll tell you to just kind of do it in a zigzag pattern if you can. So you just start from one end, go along. That's it. And there. Perfect. And the good news is that traditionally, cheesecake, which has a lot of fat in it, this is just so much better because I think a normal cheesecake has about 30 to 40 grams of fat a slice. Mine is only 6 grams, remember? So in the oven, let's open the door. Here we go. 45 minutes and it will just come out beautiful. Okay, so now let's look here. Would you like to win a copy of book 6? Of course you do. So you know what you've got to do? You have to like, share, and in the comments, hashtag Symply2. That's right, with the hashtag SYM and the 2. Now, you do that and hopefully you'll be a winner next week. Now, I'm excited about next week's shows because I'm doing a great recipe called, on Tuesday with Annette, it's called Saganaki prawns. But I'm going to make it my way, which is Simanaki prawns. I know, I love doing things like that. And that's out of book 7. It's a fabulous recipe. Get the recipe off the website, get the ingredients. Let's make it together on Tuesday with Annette, home ec with Annette. It's fantastic. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be making a wonderful recipe from book 4, and it's homestead chicken pie. I know, you have to be here for that one. Now, I have made it up ahead, and Bill's already enjoyed a piece because this was from the show that wasn't very good. And so there it is. It's the beautiful version. And if you can see all the layers in there. It really does look like a cookies and cream cheesecake. And I just think it is going to be a fantastic one to make for Father's Day if you can. So look, thanks for joining me. I'm so sorry about the problem with the sound. We've got it worked out now. So let's hope you enjoy this show. And I'll see you again on Tuesday. But don't forget, more tips and recipes, go to simplytoogood.com.au. And at the end of the day, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? Thank you for joining me for Take 2. Bye now.